I like how when I asked you what you wanted to bake, you're like, the easiest thing possible.
Yeah. This is my first step on the ladder, Briony, so I've got to, I've got to take baby steps. So I was actually asked to do the celeb bake-off.
Oh, yeah.
I was asked to do that one, and then they, as part of it, they were like, "Oh, these are the things that you've got to do," and it was like the technical bake and stuff like that. But they said, you've got to give it, you've got to be half decent. Was the message that I've got, is that I had to be half decent. I've seen it since, and people are allowed to be rubbish, so I don't understand why. I got the impression that you had to be half decent, even on the celeb version.
That's definitely not true. Having watched this season, I mean, some of them are pretty shocking. Awesome. Well, this banana bread got like 5 ingredients, and you just shove it all in a bowl. So I mean, there's very little
that
can go wrong. Got your bowl. Do you have some kind of tin to put it in?
I've got I've got this. This is like a bread.
You've got a proper loaf tin and everything.
Yeah, no, I've got. My wife just got this out for me. I've never known what it did, but apparently now I do. So
you're gonna find out now, right now. So have you got some bananas?
Yes, I've got some bananas. I've got 2 here.
So first up, we're just going to shove them in a bowl and mash them up. That's step number 1. How are you coping in lockdown?
It's all right. Yeah, the kids are like, my eldest is 3, and the youngest is nearly 2. She'll be 2 next month, in a couple of months, sorry. So it's like, it's been pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
The thing is, my wife does all the baking with the kids, and they love baking. So that's part of me. I want to try and join in a little bit with it. This is why I've got the apron.
Amazing.
Just to get myself some of the gear.
All the gear, no idea.
Yeah, exactly. So the plus side is for me, because I live in Huddersfield and I do last leg down in London. So I'm away most of the week. Well, like half the week anyway. So it's been nice to just spend a bit of time with them. I mean, they do me head in, but on the whole they're all right. The youngest is awful. The older one's pretty decent, so we've had like a 1 in 2 hit rate of a good kid. Yeah,
that's all right. I mean, that's pretty standard, I'd say. That's why we're not gonna have another one, because we're like we've hit it pretty lucky with Nora, so we're like we're not gonna risk it.
Yeah, I think that's a good attitude.
So whack your egg in and mix that in as well.
Just in case you're worried about me, keep wiping myself. I'm not like got any sort of temperature or something. It's just really hot in this kitchen. I've had a couple of fun Zoom calls with pals actually. Like we did one last Saturday, me and my mates from Liverpool. I got absolutely hammered. Like I was on it for like 3 hours, and normally when you're with your pals, you have to someone has to queue to the bar or something like that. But we were all just there, and I had a couple of my mates in the bar on it as well. I drank so much wine. It's the most drunk I've been for ages. So you were in rather than out. Yeah, big time, absolutely. I still got lumps in this.
Fine, don't worry, lumps is fine. Don't worry, lumps is fine. Don't worry, it's all good. Cool. Then you need your Nutella, or for me, my Tesco chocolate hazelnut bread.
Yeah.
And you're working.
There are other brands available.
Because the last leg started with the Paralympics, didn't it, in 2012?
Yeah. So I went to the Paralympics in 2012 as a football reporter. I was meant to be reporting on the 5-a-side blind football, and then the 7-a-side cerebral palsy football. And I trained for 2 years to do that, because I used to be a sports journalist. And so I auditioned for Channel 4 to be a journalist, and then that was going to be my job. And they said to me, I want you to be a reporter for our show that we're doing, this highlight show. So I remember the first time I went on live national television was at the opening ceremony, and I was like the VIP reporter. So I thought, I might have a result here. I might get to interview someone like Chris Martin from Coldplay, or even Beckham if he's there. My first interview was David Cameron, who was then Prime Minister.
Blimey.
Which is mad. Which was I can't tell you how nervous I was going live on television for the first time, and that was who I was interviewing. And honestly, I was sick before. And then they just said to me, we want you to stay on this highlight show. And literally, that was it. I'd never done comedy before or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, that was it. And I've not done anything since. I haven't done a day of journalism since.
That's amazing.
So, that was a real gamble from Channel 4. But they wanted half of the people they had presenting and reporting to be to be disabled. And let's be honest, like there aren't a lot of us knocking about on telly.
No.
And there were even less then. So it was like a really big thing, you know.
So you've never done comedy before?
No, I've never done it before. Which I'm sure some people at home would go, well, that shows. But I remember meeting Adam, and he was kind of one of the first people I've ever met who's got like a leg the same as me.
Yeah.
And I remember us, the first time we met, talking about our legs and just talking about, he was like, oh, what one have you got? And he showed me his and I showed him mine.
Right,
and they were like, you should have this conversation on TV. And it's weird because it feels like something that doesn't seem like a big thing to us to have that sort of conversation because it's every day. But to people at home, they're like, it's mind blowing. I even like at one point binned off the whole of like going to audition at Channel 4 because I was like, this isn't worth giving up my job for. Like, I might not even get through. I'm not going to give up a steady job just to go and try and be on the telly. And it's just so fortunate the way it's worked out. I'll get to do banana bread with you.
Yeah,
so what?
You lucky thing, you. 200 grams of self-raising flour, whack that in.
200 grams.
That's the one. You can tell I've got a 4-year-old. This is the kind of baking equipment I have. Let's see if you recognise who is that, Alex? I bet you recognise who it is.
Is that Elsa?
Do you feel like in the 8 years that you've done The Last Leg, there is better representation of disabled people on telly, or do you think there's not been that much change?
I think, do you know what, mate? I think there is. I think it's better. I still think that there's a long way to go. If you think how many disabled people there are, in terms of kind of in everyday life, how many disabled people there are in the UK compared to kind of the percentage that you find in a lot of shows, we're still pretty underrepresented, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But it's definitely got better. It's like, I know, and it's kind of one of those things where I look back now and it's quite sad to think back because when I was younger, I just thought, well, there's a reason why there isn't anyone like me on telly, and it must just be because obviously society just thinks we're too like odd looking.
Yeah.
And that was the misconception that I had going into kind of even when I auditioned. So that was 2010. I did my YouTube audition video. It's one of those things where like I don't mean it in like in an arrogant way at all, but I would have loved to have had someone like me on telly. Or, you know, like, it's just, when I was younger, someone who you could kind of go, oh, that you know, they know what it's like and stuff like that. And, yeah, it's just not the case. It's one of the nicest things. I work with a charity called Reach. I'm sure you know Reach, don't you?
I used to be a member of Reach. I love Reach.
Yeah. So I go to their kind of family weekends when I can. I've been to their kind of AGM and stuff like that, and yeah, so it's always nice when I get to meet kind of kids because you know, who have got hands like us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to be able to, you know, to be able to give them advice that obviously that I didn't really get, and just say to me, hey, if you want to go on telly, give it a go. No reason why you can't. But when you did Bake Off, you never really mentioned your hand, did you?
No, I wasn't. It was quite a conscious decision. I just didn't want to be labelled as like the disabled baker. I just wanted to be a baker like everyone else with a disability. I
remember my wife saying to me, because when we met, remember when I told you, like, I've always used my hands as a way of getting out and doing stuff. And I've always said, no, you don't want me like baking or anything like that. It would take me too long to do the stir, and I never really tried, so I was just pulling the fast on trying to get out of it. And then, then we saw you, and it was just like, shit. Nice one. You've ruined it for me. You've ruined my laziness.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had a good thing going until you went on there. And also because you're so good as well. So I couldn't even go, but she's rubbish. So you still don't want me doing it.
I don't know, I did some pretty rubbish bakes on Bake Off. But you went and blooming swam the channel, so, you know, you're making the rest of us look bad there, aren't you?
Well, I swam in the channel is what Josh and Adam like to remind me, is that I swam in the channel, which is what a lot of people do every year. Sadly, the weather stopped us from making it all the way over to France. which is I'm still gutted about. Like I still think about it a lot because it was close. We were so close, and the weather just turned, and they had to send us back for safety.
Yeah.
I got like injured during the middle of it as well, and it was just like the idea that I was putting up with enough as it was, and then my shoulder went. It's like, God's sake, that's one of the good bits. There's nothing wrong with my shoulders normally. How's that gone now? I thought it was going to be like a leg or something or a hand, but no, it was my good shoulders that went.
When I swim, because of my hand, I tend to go round quite a lot in one direction.
Yeah.
I'm quite a wonky swimmer.
Amazing it was kind of one of those things where, I don't know, I suppose in my head a little bit is the more help I get, the more, I don't know, disabled I feel, or, I don't know, less independent, but that's a stupid way of thinking, because it's been, it's great.
No, it is hard to accept help. It's hard because you feel like, I think that's one of the things why I didn't ask for any help in Bake Off, because I was like, no, I don't need any help. Like you say, it sometimes makes you feel less able or more disabled when you do ask for help sometimes. Yeah,
exactly, and it's kind of
amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to put half the mix in the loaf tin. So this can be like your audition tape for Celebrity Bake Off next year.
Mate, absolutely. I'm gonna get if I manage to not completely ruin this, that to me will be a sign that I can do it.
Once you put half the stuff in, you want to get some more Nutella.
Yeah.
Put it dollop it in the middle. And then put the rest of the cake batter on top, and then so when you cut into it, when it's baked, you get this amazing bit of Nutella smushing out.
Oh.
All the Nutella.
I like it. Sorry, I've managed to open a jar. How's that for inspiration? I've actually managed to open a new jar. So there you go, guys. Believing you can achieve. Right, so did I put the rest of the mix on over the top, didn't I?
Yeah, once you put the Nutella down the middle.
Yeah.
So once you've popped it all in, if you've got some chocolate chips, shove them on the top.
Okay, I've got chocolate chips.
Awesome. And then that's it, it's ready to go in the oven. Well, I didn't tell you to turn on your oven at the beginning, did I? Is it on?
Sorry, do you know what? Midway through, my wife's come in and done it for me.
Oh, what a legend.
Wow, this looks amazing. If this tastes half as good as what it looks at the moment.
Well, I don't mean to brag, Alex, but it's pretty yummy. I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't know how many of these. I've used the old pack of choc chips here.
That's fine. I think the more choc chips, the better.
I mean, I'm quite nervous about lifting it up. But let's see if you can hang on a minute.
Oh, I can't quite. Oh, look at that, looks beautiful. Oh, careful.
Well, all right, no more lifting that up now.
You want to whack that in the oven on, if you've got a fan oven, 180.
180.
No, 160 fan, 180 non-fan, conventional.
160. For how long?
For 45 minutes.
Right, it's in there.
Hey, awesome.
Destiny awaits.
Easy peasy.
I've done my first bit of baking. Well, I've not been drinking during it anyway, so this is a game changer here, Briony. Thank you.
Sober baking.
And that was fairly easy as well. That was fairly easy. Didn't even use the electric whisk. Did it all by little hand power.
And this is what it should look like when it comes out.
Okay.
So you get this. You see?
Oh, wow.
You get that Nutella running through. So it's pretty yummy. We're going to end on a positive. What are you most looking forward to this week in lockdown? What have you got? Have you got anything fun on?
There's a new episode of The Mandalorian that's on today on Disney+. I've realised there are other streaming services available, but I've been getting bang into it with the kids. Also, the big thing I'm looking forward to is how mint this banana bread's going to be.
Hey,
so.
you. I'm excited about RuPaul's Drag Race in the way that you're excited about The Mandalorian. I'm excited about RuPaul's Drag Race coming out later on Netflix.
There you go.
Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see how your banana bread turns out.
No, I can't wait to taste it. By the way, this bacon, it creates a lot of mess, doesn't it?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I've just looked around and thought I'm going to have to go and clean this up now. Even I can't get away with leaving this. So
Sorry. Well, you take care and have
you too, mate.
Good week, well, a couple of weeks, and hopefully see you on the other side.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, mate. I really appreciate it. I'm probably going to be hitting you up to do these once a week so we can move on to proper technical bakes and stuff like that.
Amazing. By the end of lockdown, you'll be making choux pastry, eclairs. You'll be nailing it.
Thanks a lot, pal. I really appreciate it. And I'll send you that selfie. I really can't wait to see how it looks like. So
Amazing.
thank you.
Can't wait. All right,
Cheers,
lovely.
mate.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.